Hey everybody, welcome our Team Connect on August 9th. Oh my goodness, so much exciting things happening in Arbonne right now. Oh, cute baby. And we have the Build for More going on right now as well. So I hope everyone's taking advantage of that, 40 and 50% off. We have lots of orders going in, so people must be taking advantage of it. We're having a great month. But I just wanted to check in. How's everyone doing with, I know Sherry has a lot going on with Facebook parties. I had a couple scheduled that I'm rescheduling right now, but I'm loving being part of, Facebook parties and gearing up to do more, getting more on my schedule. I'm excited. But do you want to share a little bit about some wins, Sherry?
Oh, I guess I'm already unmuted. Did you unmute me?
I never muted you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been going well. It's just, I have two new business partners that we've been launching with Facebook parties. And so from there, we've just had one person that we've signed up as another business partner. So that's amazing because we got her on a sidetrack and we did like a Discover Arbonne so that we could specialize it to her. And it was great because she was like, I already did research on Arbonne. It aligns with my values. I love everything that you said. That presentation is amazing because having those statistics of like what's going on in the world and how Arbonne relates, I think really hits home with a lot of people.
The Discover Arbonne?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really, really like that. I was gonna maybe reach out to Kathy and see if she can maybe put that in when we do the nutrition one, when we do the 30 days to healthy living, like put some of those slides at the bottom of it.
Yeah, please give her feedback because I actually gave her some feedback on the healthy living one too. I just feel like it's redundant in a lot of places. So, and I gave her some facts and articles and statistics to add in. So yeah, we're revamping it right now. So it's a good time.
Oh, awesome. Okay, I'll send her a message after this because I was like, because I start there and then I like go away and go into the other one because I love what the Discover Arbonne says and it would be nice to have those two together.
Yeah, give her that feedback. I think it's a great suggestion because I feel like the one, it's good, but it's just a little wordy. It's like a lot of words, but what am I saying?
Yeah. Statistics are just so relevant to what's going on, so people can understand, what we're about and how we're fitting in with that. And anyway, I love that. I love that Discover Arbonne.
Good.
So anyway, right now, I think the biggest lesson learned with Facebook parties is just the patience of, hi Brenda, is just the patience of the follow-up. Because I know for me, when I first got into them, I was like, I need to, try to convert people, but I'm learning it's building that relationship and reaching out and coaching the new, our new team members to just keep talking to them, asking them what resonated with them when they've watched the live video or any of the information that's being posted there, and just starting those conversations. And then trying to see if we can invite them into the healthy mind, body, and skin so they're constantly getting more exposures.
Right.
And then also inviting them to the Discover Arbonne during the week if because when you put the poll in, you see that there's one that's about community and supportive people and having the discussions around like maybe they'd be interested in the business side, and then also the 30 days to healthy living. So right now I'm just in the process of still sending samples out to the drawing winners. One really cool thing that Molly Rodriguez had given to me is she said instead of having one drawing winner, she just kind of like sends multiple ones like behind the scenes to DM saying, congratulations, you won. And even though it's not just one, and then she's just sending samples to all of these people. So then you have ways of like, connecting and having a follow-up. Now that's completely up to you, obviously, because, if you feel like you can do that, there's no pressure there, but because shipping and all that other stuff. So that's what I'm trying to do is just send them more than just one sample to some of the raffle winners to help my new business partners so they have ways of like getting back in and talking following up.
How did you like your skincare sample? How did you like your fizz stick? How did you like your mascara sample? Yeah. We used to do that when we were doing vendor events. We'd have where people could put their information in for a drawing to win a prize and everyone would win, so that we would have people to meet up with and talk to. Great. Where can I meet you, for coffee so I can drop off your gift that you won and you have all these one-on-one appointments then?
Yeah. But the biggest key through these Facebooks are like to try to find, a new business partner. Number two is to try to get another, Facebook party or Zoom social or something like that, and just building the relationships of the people that joined. So once they've watched the video, I've just been coaching them to like go back through and like ask each person what resonated with them and just have the conversations going. So um, so far no signups yet, but that's okay because we're in the process of building, and these seeds will, happen later.
Two things that I just want to reiterate that you said, Sherry, that are so key. What is our number one goal for any kind of event, one-on-one, Facebook party, Zoom, whatever? What is our number one goal?
Business partner duplication.
A business partner, and to book another appointment from it, to, book an event from an event. I didn't hear sales. That's not the number one priority, but yet that's what we all fixate on, right? so just to like, breathe into that. Like our number one, the sales will come. If we're doing a good job and we're attractive and a person of integrity and presenting that's the thing. Arbonne doesn't need any hype. The truth, the story of Arbonne is enough. And the people that it aligns with are going to be lifers. That's the beauty of Arbonne too, that I've seen in the time that I've been in this company. Are people join, it might take a minute to educate up front, and that is truly the work up front, is we're educating. But then people are in. Like once they understand how, the Arbonne difference, they order for 20 years, like they can't get enough of this stuff. So it's worth it. It's worth it to just be patient and do the education up front and do lots of touches. And yeah, I love everything you're saying. Get people on products, and that's the thing. When we were meeting in person, we could just, put products on people right there, but we might have to do samples to get that same effect. The other thing I love that you said, Sherry, is when you're launching a new person, you're looking for a business partner for them right away as well. So you're, think about that. You could launch 2 people at once. And statistics, here you go. Fun fact, Sherry, throw it out there. The statistics show that there's 350% more likely to stay in Arbonne is if they're an executive district manager rather than just a district manager. Does that make sense? So if they have a business partner, they're 350% more likely to stay in Arbonne and to have a longer, I was gonna say career. Is that what you say? they're gonna be lifers. So just have that longevity. So that is smart wisdom that you just heard from Sherry. I love it. All right. So anyone else want to share a win or anything you have going on before I jump into this training? I guess, our big thing right now is the build for more, and have and the mask to have people to go back and reach out to. And something smart with these build for mores, I was having a dialogue with someone about the difference between, the consultant deal is a 250 order, then you get the 125 for 30. It's actually pretty comparable. So that deal, the 125 for 30, is not available this month, just so you know, because we're doing the 50% off thing for consultants. But side by side, if you do the math, it's actually a better deal to do the build for more for consultants. So just know that. Shui and I hashed it out and it's actually a better deal to do build for more. So just, just know that. And think about it. If someone wants to go in together, like sisters or neighbors or friends or whatever, that it's a great deal for people this month. So I just wanted to, build the value up for that this is better than what consultants usually get, and obviously better than, what for clients get too. So with all that being said, I just want to
add one more thing, one more win.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So with the 30 days to healthy living, because I always lead with the business and then the 30 days to healthy living, this is something cool that's happened just this week. Is I've had 2 30-day clients, one that's been doing it for almost 3 months, and then another one that's been doing it for 6 months. And they both have reached out to me saying people are asking them. and they want to know what to do. They're like, I don't, they want to get into the product and the 30 days and stuff like that. So I've just been kind of coaching them to try to get them on a call. And if we can't do that, then I'm just giving them information and sharing their links, because they're both consultants, and slowly talking to them about the business and kind of planting that seed. But it's pretty cool to see, once people embrace the 30 days, other people start to notice their overall change.
I love it. And that was actually an article I sent to Kathy, was just how food affects your mood. It affects your overall sense of well-being. And it's scientifically proven. So if you're eating better, you're going to feel better. And people notice when you're like happier, you're not so short with them and anxious and mean. So yeah, definitely people notice this. I remember Wendy Burns, who's on our team. She's like, are people in Arbonne really that happy? But it's true. When you get your diet cleaned up and you're feeding your body nutrients, you just feel better, you're happier. Mm-hmm. So I love it. So yeah, so we had it was super gracious of Chris and Amy Weilert. They're an MVP couple in Arbonne. They usually have their retreat in Oklahoma, and you have to pay and get an airline ticket and register, and it's a whole big thing to go to their retreat. I've never been, because I usually just go to Cecilia's retreat, but so cool that we got to be virtual for both of their retreats this year. So I just wanted to share from that. It was outstanding. The first speaker was Carlita Nelson, who I resonated with as a newer Arbonne consultant, because she's a nurse as well. And I remember sitting at GTC, and Carlita Nelson was on stage, and she was like one of the top, 15 income earners in Arbonne. And I think she'd been in Arbonne for maybe 7 years at that point, and I had too. And she's on stage as like the top, income earner, and and I was just like, oh, I like that heifer. Just kidding. No, I love her. I was just like, man, if she can do it, she just painted a vision for me. I hadn't really started my business. I was just kind of spinning my wheels. So she really was such an inspiration. So anyway, she talked about how to find your real why and long vision. And it was so interesting, because she said everybody across the board comes into Arbonne initially for a practical reason, right? Because they need an extra $500 to $1,500 a month, because they would like to, whatever, save for a vacation, pay something off, whatever. But your practical why will basically get you to district or area, because it's about you, right? Your significant why comes later, and that's the one that will take you to ENVP, because it includes other people. It includes making a difference in the world. And it was just such an interesting concept to think of that, everyone. So it is like to give these grandiose reasons of, I'm in Arbonne to, stop sex trafficking or whatever. It's like, well, to talk to someone who's struggling to pay bills right now, that's probably not going to resonate with them. But people initially need to hear that, yes, this is a way you can make another $1,000 a month. This is a way that you can have some wiggle room in your budget, and you can start to save, you can start paying things off, whatever, and we can help you right there. So just to talk in terms that people can relate to. She also said to find your why. And I think, who was it? I think it was Stephanie Warren on one of our Boxer calls. She really talked about this. So, just to ask a person, what do you wish you had more of? And so people can say that: more time, more money, whatever. And you say, why? Okay, well, because and this was Carlita's. She said she needed more money because her husband was always working extra and overtime, and she wanted him to be home, when they were raising a family. She could never work overtime because she was salary. So that was her initial why. Okay, why? Why do you want your husband home more? Well, because I'm the one that's stressed all the time, and it'd be nice to just divide up the duties and stuff, so my kids have happy memories of being kids. because stress makes you ugly. That's what she said. And okay, why? Why do you want your kids to have happy memories? Well, and then it'll make me tear up too. She goes, then she started tearing up. She goes, because I don't want my kids to want to leave home and get away from me because I'm so mean, because I'm so stressed about money all the time. She goes, I want my kids to love me and to have these happy memories so that when they, have kids and I have grandkids, that they want to be with me. And so it's like, you just keep saying, why? And you get to the root of the thing that makes you cry, the thing that makes you emotional. And it's so interesting, for me, I think it would stem, trickle down into freedom, just that freedom. I felt like a working slave, working 12-hour midnight shifts and everything. It just like, I never saw the light of day. I just was like, there has to be something more. It was mind numbing. So, anyway, just keep asking why to get to the root of why someone would need Arbonne. And then another great question to ask is, what will I miss if I don't do this, if I don't make a change in my life? And so, again, a lot of people I would regret. I just don't want to wake up in another 5 years and be in the same place. I just thought that was amazing, to dig down deep into someone's why and get to the root, because then we have something. Then we have someone who's truly sponsored, when we can connect Arbonne as their vehicle to get to their why. Arbonne isn't someone's why necessarily, right? It's just the vehicle that can take them to their why. That's, because their current circumstance is not going to get them to what they want. And she talked too about, again, a more significant, meaningful why comes, once those practical needs are met. And hers is, and I think it is for all of us on here, honestly, is to empower people with choices, with, to get out of that victim thinking, to empower people to know that they have everything they need to change their life. They just have to change the way they think, right? Beliefs are just repeated thought patterns. So we can change those by the books we read, by the people we surround ourselves with. So empowering people is a more significant why that will come later and will propel you. And it's so beautiful to me to have this platform in Arbonne to lead people and to, share books and, ways that I've grown personally, I can pass that on. And it's just like the coolest thing ever. It gets addictive the more you're in Arbonne, just to see people transform. So Stian then was talking about, he's the son of Petter Mork, who started Arbonne, okay? So he gave a little insight into Petter and why Arbonne is what it is. And Petter grew up, he was the youngest of 3 kids. His mom was a single mom, and he has great respect for women, watching his mom, work and raise kids and do it all herself. So think about that. Think about his whole philosophy with doing a network marketing company is, he said, when you make a woman a millionaire, she'll change the world. And of course, that applies to men too, but typically the women are the nurturing ones who are caring for people. So anyway, his significant why was to help people grow into the best version of themselves. He also knew that, yeah, and you think about that, we say that all the time, right? This was in 1975. He was working on developing Arbonne, and that was his significant reason, was he wanted to help empower people to become the best version of themselves. He was such a visionary. He knew there needed to be short-term sacrifice for long-term gain, which that's the name of this game, right? He was unconditionally curious. He asked lots of questions of people. He was just interested in people. He said, again, one of his philosophies was always be true to your word and always do a little more than is expected of you. And that's a philosophy that I've heard over and over in Arbonne, is that we undersell and over deliver. The truth is enough. Hype is actually a liability. So the future of Arbonne, Stian is talking, the future of Arbonne is the connection between healthy mind, body, and skin. And they're already starting rigorous clinical studies to prove this connection for every single product. Isn't that cool? So we're going to have a mind, body, skin connection for every product in Arbonne and clinical studies to back it. Like, this is huge. Like, I have goosebumps right now. This is so ahead of the curve, you know what I mean, of anything else out there. It's so exciting. So he says that he wants all consultants to find a way to benefit from the Arbonne opportunity, and that this is the big, you know, announcement, the little hint is that international expansion is definitely in our future. So I wonder if September 10 we're going into another country. I don't know. He didn't say that. He just said that international expansion is in the future. So let's see here. And then also, you know, Arbonne pursues financial as well as social and environmental goals, you know, with our B Corp certification. So that's huge. And that, again, was all part of Heather's vision for this company. So in my mind, we have nothing to do but grow. I mean, we're already booming, and this is just setting us up to grow even further. So let's see here. Tara Brandsma spoke. She used to be a CPA. I don't know if she is anymore, but anyway, she's big in Arbonne now. Tara Brandsma, she said, get clear on what you want and what am I hungry for. Staying unclear is more comfortable, since getting clear means admitting that I don't have something. So she was saying too, like if you went to a restaurant and you told the server, I want some food, they're like, okay, you know, what does that mean? Well, okay, I want a salad. All right, well, we have 7 salads, you know, and then, so to get really clear and specific of what we want, what we're working towards, and that will help it, you know. She was just saying there's a difference between certainty and belief. Belief is something that's in your mind, but certainty is in your body. Certainty is like, this is happening no matter what, I'm doing this. And I just thought that was an interesting clarification. Once you're clear on what you want, then you move into certainty. Certain it can be yours, certain you can do it. The difference between certainty and belief is in your head, certainty is in your body. So for me, MVP 12/31/2020, it's a Thursday at 11 p.m. It's happening. There you go. There's my certainty. And just to, again, she said there's some power in just wondering, like, I wonder what my next business builder is going to be like. Is it going to be a guy or a girl? Is it going to be a professional or, you know, a stay-at-home person? Is it going to be, you know, someone who's local to me or far away? But just to get in that mindset of, like, instead of saying nobody wants this, nobody calls me back, well, you know, to get in that space of anticipation, it's actually really good energy. Visualization, affirmations, declarations, your words affect your emotions and your body. It helps you act as if, use a vision board. We're focused. Are we focused on what we don't want? Are we focused on what isn't working? Are we focused on how it has to look all the time? And she's the CPA, remember? So she's like, let go of how it's going to happen. When we're strongly attached to the result, we're doubting it will happen. Woo. I was like, woo, that kind of hit me. Okay, when we're attached to the result, we're actually doubting it's going to happen. When we have anxiety, worry, that's when we're doubting. Commitment knows it will happen. I don't know when. I don't know when the sale's going to come. It's okay. I'm just going to keep nurturing these relationships because it's worth it and people matter. And that's commitment. Commitment knows it will happen somehow, and it doesn't matter how, it just will. Okay, so, and then she went into the action of 40 faces and the daily method for success. And then too, she was really adamant about, if someone's popping into your mind, reach out to them. You know, that's someone. And it was so interesting too, because this girl that I'm doing a clothing party, we're trading. She's doing a clothing party that I invited people to, and she's going to do an Arbonne party for me. Darn it, I told her, I said, you've been on my mind for years to talk to you about Arbonne, but her mother-in-law used to do Arbonne, or is, I don't know. I just figured she was attached to her mother-in-law. And she said to me, you know what, Tammy, my mother-in-law's never talked to me about Arbonne. Darn it, I put it off because I thought she was already attached to someone, and she wasn't, and she actually said she would have taken a look if I would have presented it to her. So if people are popping into your mind, you were meant to talk to them. Man. So let's see here. I want to get to, yeah. Oh yeah, so of course, you know, they're talking about be the best consultant on your team, mindset and action. It's like two legs. How can you run, you know, if you're not doing both? You need both legs, mindset and activity. You can't just read books and expect to be at the top of Arbonne. You can't just, you know, do the activity and not get better at it, and you know what I mean, by working on your mindset and everything too. So I love that. And she said this type of business actually thrives in uncertain times. I thought that was pretty cool because Tara Brandsma promoted to the top of Arbonne in 2008, like the fall of 2008 when everything was hitting. And so anyway, anything is possible. A scared, she said, oh, then the next speaker said, your business will be stagnant when you stay comfortable. Eee! That hit home. A scared leader will keep a team capped. We'll put a limit on their team. So yeah, do it scared, keep moving. Focus on sponsoring, not volume. Activity is nothing without energy. Like, you know, if you're doing the activity and you're so militant, that's not going to be attractive for people. You know, the energy of loving people and knowing that they matter and making people feel important is attractive. Strive to be the top sponsorer on your team. Like, that's actually the highest honor, and it's gonna grow your business. Love people enough to circle back. Rejection is part of this business, and it's a sign you're in activity, of course. Arbonne is about building others up and painting a vision for your team. Ashley Strong heard over 1,000 no's before becoming an MVP. And I started thinking about that. Have I heard 1,000 no's? I don't know, but, but probably not 1,000. So yeah, there's still room. Avery Honeycutt, oh my goodness, she was probably one of my top 2 favorite speakers. I didn't take as many notes on her because it was more in story form, but it was so touching because she talked about how at the beginning of her business, she was in school and everything. She didn't have money, so her dad paid the $300 for her to get her, you know, healthy living nutrition kit and her consultant membership and everything. And she ended up being the primary caretaker for him. He has Parkinson's disease, and it was progressing, you know, getting worse and worse. And she was the one that ended up spending lots of time with him. And she said, you know, it was hard. It was hard to build my business during that time, but I'm so glad I did. And, you know, just to say, if you want time with your kids, you might have to take time away from your kids to build your business, but it's worth it to keep, you know, doing something every day to grow your business, because ultimately she had so much more time with her dad. There was more to the story, but he passed away. She was the one that ended up paying for his whole funeral and paid for all the expenses with attorneys. I mean, she's like, what, 24 years old or something? She ended up, because her dad was financially responsible for one of her brothers, so now she's taking care of her brother. You know, how amazing is this? She's only been in Arbonne 4 years. She's at the top of the company, but she set her mind. She ended up promoting to MVP the same weekend as her wedding. Like, oh my gosh, it's just been bananas. Her journey has been crazy. She had like online bullies. She's had team members turn against her that were then deregistered, like crazy stuff. She's had so much drama in her business, and yet her ultimate message was, you know, build it before you need it, and build it for the very reasons that you're sacrificing. You know, if you want more time, you're going to have to sacrifice a little time to get this going, but ultimately you're going to have time by building this. And then also she was talking about evaluate your circle. And I thought that was really key. You know, are you surrounding yourself with people who are lifting you up and supportive? Are you surrounding yourself with people who are giving you advice, but they've never done network marketing. They've never, been where you want to be. So just evaluate your circle and what kind of energy you're getting from them. And you might have to shift. She's like, you don't have to not be friends with people, but just don't spend as much time with them if they're bringing you down. Ashley Strong spoke. She said, as far as her sponsor, that she was attracted to how her sponsor was living the Arbonne life. And I just thought that was key. People are watching us, even if they say no at the beginning, they're watching us live the Arbonne lifestyle. And so are we genuinely plugging into, living a healthier lifestyle? Because so many people are watching. Leaders are made, not born, which is kind of a relief because we can all, that's level playing field. Wannabe leaders want the change more than they want to change their life. And that's true. Wannabe leaders want the end result. They don't want to do the work to get there. Leaders don't just analyze, they do. Leaders do something every day to move their business forward. And she said that she always had this vision of Forrest Gump in her head, like Forrest Gump was just running. And people were like, why are you running? Where are you going? I don't know, I'm just running. And that was her. She just put the blinders on and just went. And she knew that eventually someone will run with me. To lead your team is to love your team. Put a 10 on everyone's forehead, appreciate, approve, admire, give them attention and feedback. Leaders commit to winning. Leaders are committed to excellence, perfectly clear on their goals. And she said, really the goal, because she's still in the military, and she goes, in the military, we're very clear on the goal of the operation, of what we're doing. Nobody's getting to a place and saying, what do you think we should do? Should we come in from the east or the west? Should we do that? No, where they're very clear. And she goes, the things we need to be very clear of in Arbonne is we share the Arbonne story. We share products and opportunity. We sell and we sign up new business partners. That's it. That's what we do. We share, we sell, we sign up new business partners. We share, we sell, we sign up new, that's it. So master the monotony of that. Leaders set the example. Leading yourself well is actually the most difficult. Oh my goodness. Doing this 40 faces challenge and everything, which is our system, but I'm just like, holy cow, trying to get everything in every day. And I'm like, no, I need one more. It pushes you. And it's true. Leading yourself is like, hello, that's the whole name of this game too. Because we tend to want to cheat or blame others for our results if we, make excuses for ourselves. Let's see here. Oh, she asked too, what would my team look like if every person on my team was working the way I am working? Good question. Do more of the things that add value, sharing, selling, sign up new business partners. Do less of the things that distract. If it doesn't build my business, my bank account, or my belief, it will likely be a no. That's what she said. Start doing the things you're avoiding doing. Start by doing the things you're avoiding doing. Yes, there we go. And I love how she said this, because we all make our butt extra special, but no one's butt is special in our butt. Because we say, oh, but. I thought that was funny. And she says, leaders are obsessed. It's a healthy obsession. Is anyone telling Michael Jordan, man, all you talk about is basketball? You know what I mean? And it's true. We do have to get obsessed to get what we want. And I've told Sherry this many times. If we were in medical school, because people will say that, oh, all you talk about is Arbonne, Sherry, or Tammy, or whatever. And it's like, wait, if I was in medical school, all I'd be talking about was medical stuff. You know what I mean? If I was trying out for the Olympics, all I would talk about was that. You know what I mean? Like you have to get obsessed to excel. And so it's okay, own that. Obsessed is a word the lazy use to describe the passionate, the all in. So take that. So, okay, Dana Collins was amazing. She blew my mind. She was my other favorite speaker. She said she is recovering from a debilitating disease called people pleasing. Does that hit home with anybody? Fear of what people will think, she says, holds people back the most in this business. And, you know, often when we join Arbonne, we're an independent consultant, but sometimes we sponsor codependent consultants. For example, like we have consultants who say, I can't get my own makeup kit. So then the sponsor says, well, here, use mine. So then, you know, because you're rescuing, here, use mine because I feel good when I can help other people. And then guess what? You both need the makeup kit the same day. So then the person who you loaned it to is mad. And so then you change your, she said her advice was, Dana, you need to learn what others need to do to honor and challenge them. Don't do it because it's easy for you to do it. And that was actually a point that hit home with me as a leader, is to do things that honor and challenge that person instead of just doing it for people. Okay. Let's see. The hardest person you will ever lead is you. And when we are people pleasing, we are not managing ourselves. There was a point, I'm going to skip over that. Why? Okay, so here's something that hit home too for me. She said, why are fewer men in network marketing, but more men are actually at the top income levels? I thought that was a really interesting question. Why is that? And so she drilled into it. She said, the biggest thing that gets in the way of success for women is that women do the most emotional labor in the house, the unpaid work. So for example, women are doing, you know, the school schedule, taking care of the dog, the kids, the laundry, the groceries, the mail, the house cleaning, you know, whatever. Women generally just volunteer to take this on. One of the hidden time consumers that keep us from success. And she recommended the book called Fed Up, F-E-D-U-P. So for example, one of the examples in this book was the woman asked the husband to hire a housekeeper so that the family could all be together for her birthday or whatever. So there were 4 references that she gave the husband to kind of like qualify who he wanted to come and clean their house and whatever. He called the first one and just said, oh, forget it, I'll do it myself. So guess what happened? Her birthday rolled around. He's cleaning, so now she still has to take care of the kids and the food and the house and the she goes, that isn't what I was asking, but yet that's what happens so often, you know. And so it was interesting, just how are we spending our time? How are we spending our energy? You know, how are we prioritizing our business or not prioritizing our business or respecting our business? Or, you know, how is anyone supposed to respect our business if we're not? So she was just saying, let go of this need to do everything, let go of this need to be liked, because at the end of the day, she wants people to respect her, not just to like her. And I just thought, man, that was so good. So I remember Donna Johnson, she had 3 kids. She was a single mom. She was the first person in Arbonne to become an MVP. And she didn't have the money, right? She was just scrounging. She was the swim coach, which is barely poverty kind of income. But she hired an assistant. She hired someone to help her clean, to put sample packs together, to get all her Arbonne everything together every day so that she could work on sponsoring, selling, you know, going out and making those appointments and everything. She would drop her kids off at school and she would do like 3 parties a day, you know, to try to hustle and get business builders. I think she went RVP in 5 months because she did 3 parties a day. I mean, think about that. But she had an assistant to help her with all those time consuming things that we let our day just slide away, you know. Dana again talked about that, how, and I'm guilty of this. Oh my gosh. You know, if the team calls, it's like you drop everything, you know, even though this was my time that I carved out to prospect or, you know, work on my own business. If a neighbor calls or if my, you know, whatever, if someone called, like, for example, I used to talk on the phone to my sister like all day long, but I would think about that. I would drop everything to talk to her, you know, instead of like treating my business like a business. So just to be mindful of those things and how are we spending our time and how are we respecting our business? I thought it was really, really good. So Gordon Frazier came on. He's the, I don't know if he's the highest income earner. He was the first male MVP outside of the United States. So he was in the UK. He's actually Scottish. So he was talking about we have to influence people to do more than they think they can. Influence, leadership, and character all go hand in hand. Today, those who have courage are influencers. And I just thought, wow, isn't that interesting? Because that made me think of Avery again, just the courage to tell her story and her struggles. And she has 130,000 followers on Instagram. And truly, I believe it is her courage to just be vulnerable and speak up, you know, about who she is and what's going on in her life that's making her this influencer. Skills can be duplicated, but uniqueness cannot be duplicated. You know, that's something that is in each one of us, and that is our superpower, is just our own unique story. And so being the best version of ourselves inspires others to do the same. And I just thought that was really cool. You know, yes, skills we need to duplicate, but we also just need to inspire others by being the best version of ourselves every day. And that means being a work in progress, in my opinion. I think that's super attractive. Not being perfect, but being a work in progress every day is very inspiring to others. And the common characteristics of leaders, you know, because you can take, there's so many different leaders in Arbonne and in the world, and all different personalities and backgrounds, but the common characteristics are they have charisma. They light up a room, right? They have good energy. Someone, it's a person who knows who they are. They know where they're going. They know what they have to do to achieve. They're goal setters. So every day, these are people who, you know, if you said, what are your goals, Sherry? She would have them. she could tell you. They're disciplined and determined, and they plan their work and work their plan every day. People are attracted to people who know where they're going. You know, so talk about your goals, post things you're reading, post your recipes, your workouts, show how you're transforming yourself. I thought that was a beautiful word of wisdom for social media. Show how you're transforming yourself. People with confidence have intense belief in what they're doing. I love that too, because I posted this in our Voxer group. I had someone tell me the other day when I was asking her to host a party, and I was just chatting with her about the business and stuff, and she said, oh, I could never be a salesperson. And I was like, oh. and this is what I posted in Voxer. Don't worry if you suck at selling. Be great at talking about things you care about. Nobody wants to like buy something. They want to know you. You know, why do you care? Why are you passionate about this? Is it because, you know, you're a person who believes that animal cruelty is archaic? You know, is it because you have kids and you don't want to put products on them that are going to detract from their health? Are you someone who struggled to get pregnant and you realize that all these toxins in our environment affect your reproductive organs? You know what I mean? Get passionate about talking about what you care about. And you guys, that has nothing to do with products. You know, think about that. It's your values. What do you value? I'm passionate about freedom. I'm passionate about empowering women and, you know, giving them options. I think every woman needs their own money, no matter what. So get passionate about the things that you care about. And then it's not selling. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not, it's super attractive to talk about what you care about. So people with confidence have intense belief in what they're doing. So how to be a person of influence: become interested in other people, unconditionally curious, smile, that's a good one, remember their name, be a good listener, talk in terms of other people's interest, make other people feel important. And that's straight out of How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, which was actually the first personal growth book I ever read when I joined Arbonne. How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie. So this, in closing, don't use this time, you know, the, you know, quarantine time, this strange year that we're all in and a part of. Don't use this time as an excuse. Use this time to step up and be an example. The world needs us to be a light, to be a difference maker. There will never be another time in history like this. So be the example of what's possible. So that was the snippet from the retreat, it was super inspiring, and I thought full of so many good nuggets. But what did you hear out of all of that? Anything that stood out? Or not?
No, there's a lot. It's a lot to process. I think it's just basically continuing to work your business and to grow yourself, because I think for me, at least, the more you do that, especially the personal growth part, the more you see change in yourself and how you're approaching just life.
Yeah.
And how you're talking to clients, potential clients, or just even like just spending more time with them to learn about them. I feel like I still have a lot of work to do there, but I'm like not as focused as when I meet someone. It's like, how can I get them into Arbonne? You know, now I'm trying to like listen. And if I'm not doing the work that the leaders are always talking about, I don't think I would be at that stage yet. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. I think too, I think the personal growth piece just helps you not get defeated, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, I'm just in the messy middle. I'm just going to be the best player on my team today. It's okay. You know, I'm a work in progress, all of that. You can accept that rather than this all or nothing. You know, it has to be perfect or it's not going to work. You know, it's like, no, we can be messy and it can still work. We can be in process of, you know, and it's still working, even if I can't see the results today.
The other thing I think is cool about it is I feel like it just helps you to be able to help your friends or family that are in situations, because I just feel like it's helped me be able to have some conversations with some friends that are going through difficult times, that I'm able to pull from some of these books that I've been reading, rather than, you know, always just like when you talk to someone that might be having a relationship issue and you're like, oh, I'm just mad at him because he's treating her this way or whatever. And now you're just trying to look at the whole situation, both people, and like guide them better, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. So it's not just you're reading this personal development to make your business grow. It's to help, not just that, it's everything that you're touching.
Yeah, so love people, you know, love people better and be a grace giver. Yep. Be a grace giver, because yeah, we've all struggled. We're all on a journey, right? There's people who are at different places in their journey, and that's something I've learned too, because you think like NVPs in Arbonne must have it all together, and it's like, oh no, the more I'm around, you know, it's like even NVPs are struggling and working on, you know, all the stuff, all the personal growth stuff too. Just your title doesn't make you arrive. You know, sometimes I think it's tougher to be at a higher place, you know, to be a celebrity or to be an Arbonne MVP or whatever, because there's just more eyes on you watching every move. You have a bigger audience to make mistakes in front of, you know. So it's like, work it out now before you're in a fishbowl being watched every move and criticized. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting, this whole personal growth journey.
Yeah, I thought that was cool one time. I don't remember where Cecilia said at what training, but when she was going through a rough personal patch in her life, that she just spent more time on personal growth. And I do feel
She
like
went through a really rough divorce. Yeah.
and so she, like, I want to say doubled up on the amount that she was reading. And I do feel like when I've had challenging days or you just feel like there's a lot of negativity around you, pouring into that has been awesome.
Yes, it does. It shifts your energy, you know, to get out of like victim mode or self-centeredness and to think of higher concepts, you know, because I always feel like I have to read until something hits me, you know, so that might be one page, that might be 12 pages, but I just have to read until something like changes my brain, you know, something I can chew on. Yeah, I love it. Speaking of books, so does anyone want to share a little more on Beach Money?
I know Brenda's reading it. I saw you post it yesterday.
Yeah, no, I just got it in the mail. So yeah, I've just started just
Good.
started reading it, so I'm super excited to dive into it. So I've heard him talk. I've listened to a podcast of his, so he was very intriguing and just really drew you in because you just wanted to keep listening to more and more of what he was saying. So yeah, I just can't wait to read the whole book. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yay. We'll have, do you want to share a little bit next Sunday?
Sure. Yeah.
Great. Love it. How about you, Melissa?
I love how easy it is to read.
Me too.
It's a great story form versus a lot of information thrown at you, which I like better than just a bunch of information.
Mm-hmm.
So it resonates more with me, I think.
What's standing out to you so far?
That it can be done, no matter how long it takes you, but it can be done, and it shows. So
That gave me goosebumps. That's awesome. Yeah, because it's true. I remember sitting again at these meetings when we went to in-person meetings and just like, how do they do it?
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like, I don't know, but I'm going to try to figure this out, but I don't get it. So that's huge that you already have that realization.
That's awesome. That's how I felt too, Melissa. I was like, oh, we can do this.
Exactly.
His story is pretty sorry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Like the cinder block nightstand that he has.
But I love that it was basically a vision board of his activity. You know, it was right there in front of him. Like he was crossing it off every day and working at it every day, you know. And it wasn't a ton. It wasn't like 40 people in a day. It was, here's this appointment. Here's the next appointment. Here's the next appointment. You know, it's just like one day at a time. And I think sometimes too, I've had to coach my own self. Like, Tammy, you know, think about this 24 hours that you've been granted right now. What can you do today to make a difference, you know, in your business, in your life, and someone else's life? Like, what can you do to win this day? And then win today, win tomorrow, win, you know what I mean? Like, just take it one day at a time. Because I think we get, we get paralyzed by the bigger picture sometimes, but the bigger picture only happens from one step, one day, one conversation at a time.
Well, and what makes this interesting is listening to his whole process. Is like we get so fixed, or I do get so fixed on wanting that end result and not embracing the process that's getting you there. And you hear that from top leaders too, that just to enjoy your process of getting there, you know, and who you're becoming.
Yeah, just get good at the monotony. Which, you know, every other job you're doing the same thing over and over, right? And you just get used to it. So it's the same in Arbonne, you know, scheduling, sponsoring, selling, you know, yeah, all of those things. Anyway, well, it was so nice being with you guys. I know it's summer and you probably have lots of things to do. You probably have lots of things going on today, but it was just so nice to have this time together, and I hope it was valuable for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you.
Thanks, Tammy.
Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great day.